Hello everyone, welcome to 3ddesignacademy.com. In this lesson, we will learn about how to pick objects. So, we have the vehicle model right here, and we're gonna start by picking the object. So if you go to palette and you press on pick, you'll be able to see several options for picking an object. Now, we'll start with pick object right here, and I'll just click on this. And you'll be able to see that I was able to click the group in which this surface belongs to. Now, you can pick it like this, but let's say you want to deselect it, and all you have to do is click on pick nothing, and it'll deselect your selection. This is quite critical, being able to pick nothing, is because sometimes, let's say you have a surface that you want to pick, but let's say you pick it wrong, or in other cases, let's say you just want to use another tool, you'll use pick nothing in order to move on to the next tool or the surface. Now, because I was picking it as an object, I was picking in the entire group. But let's say you just want to pick this surface. Then what you can do is go to pick and pick component. And you can just click here, and you'll be able to click and just select the surface, not the entire group. Also, I'll just say pick nothing right here. Now, this is a little bit more advanced selection, but in Alias, you can set certain objects and curves as template and model. So let's say I want to make these two template. What template does is that it still displays the model, but it disables you from being able to actually select it. Now, this is actually quite useful if you have several models and you have a lot of detail, or let's say you have a headlamp that you want to hide the outside surface in order to see the inside, and you can just set it as a template, and you won't be able to pick it as an object. So if I try to pick it, it does not allow me to. Now, if you want to pick a templated surface, all you have to do is go here, pick template, and you'll see that the surface is highlighted in sort of a salmon-ish color. And if, let's say, you templated the surface and you want to change it back to regular surface or untemplated, then all you have to do is go to object display, click on template, and it'll revert back to its original condition. All right. So next up, we learn? So far we learned how to pick objects, surfaces, and also templated surfaces. Now we'll learn how to pick CVs. Now, one of the most important things in Alias is being able to pick and manipulate CVs or control vertices. The CVs are these little axes, and those are control points that which manipulates your surface. So how do you pick this? In the pick, in the palette, you can go to pick and you can go to CV, and after you pick a CV, you can say Control Shift, you want to move it, and let's say you want to move it up, and you'll be able to move the CV like this and change the surface along with it. If you don't like the selection or the move, then you can just press Ctrl Z and then revert back to its original. It'll revert back to its previous position. Okay, so that's how you pick CVs. Now you'll also see these blue lines. This is what's called a curve on surface, or COS for short. So now what this does is it actually creates a curve within a surface that you can use to trim the surface with. So now I'll go over this a little bit more later, but let me just show you like this. You'll be able to trim the surface with the curves if the surface has a curved surface on it. Now, however, let's say you want to pick it. All you have to do is go to the pick and COS right here, and you'll be able to pick the curved surface. Now notice that the curved surface is actually different from a curve. So let's say I want to pick a curve. I'll say, oh, okay. So in order to pick a curve, you can go to component and double click and you'll be able to see all the options. So let's say I just want to pick the curve. Then I can just deselect all of these and say go. And actually we should create a curve first. So I'm going to say curve and I'll just create a curve right here like that and just show it like that. Now, let's say I want to pick a curve. I have to go to component. I have to say click on click curve. But if you just say click on curve as we selected right here, I cannot click on the curve and surface because the curve and the curve and surface are two different things. So if you want to specifically pick curve and surface, just have to go to CUS, pick CUS, and pick the curve and surfaces, and you'll be able to manipulate them, delete them, or whatever you want to do. So for example, I'll just delete them by pressing delete. I'll say yes. Now, another thing that you might need to pick when you're modeling is what's called a locator. So locators are all different evaluations, such as surface continuity or measurements, such as the distance between this edge and this surface edge. Now, with the pick object, you cannot actually pick it. What it actually is picking up is not the locator itself, but the surface in which the locator is placed. So let's say you just want to pick the locator itself and maybe get rid of it. So what you have to do is go to pick and pick locator. And let's say I want to just click on this continuity right here, and I can just say delete like that. If you want to pick this, again, locator, left mouse button click, and you can say delete like that. Now, again, it is very rare that anyone use all these pick tools, maybe except for template, by using the palette, because everything is available on the default marking menu. So when you click on Control Shift left mouse button, you'll see that all those tools are available. So let's say you want to pick a CB, just all you have to do is Control Shift left mouse button, pick CB like this, and you can also say move like that. So let's say you want to pick a curve, all you have to do is pick a curve like that. Say you want to pick an object, so when you pick an object, you can pick essentially everything except for templated surface and curved surface. So it'll pick this pick the object, it'll pick a curve. You don't pick up a CV, but it'll pick the surface in which it is located. Okay, so next you can, so because it is, when you pick an object, it is basically picking up the whole group. You can, let's say if you want to pick a specific surface, just the surface, you can go to pick surface and pick a surface like that. And let's say you want to pick a curved surface, it is also available right here. Pick curved surface, and you can zoom in and pick curved surface like that. Now, another thing is, pick nothing is available. So let's say you pick this and you don't want to pick, you want to pick something else. All you have to do is pick nothing and say pick object, and you can click on just the headlamp right here. All right, that concludes this lesson, and thank you for watching.